Hello, everyone. Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another action-packed live stream. So today is Friday. It's open question and answer day in terms of the Claris platform. So this is a webinar that was had about a week ago. Probably most of you probably haven't seen it. It was supposed to be exclusive for Claris partners, but there was nothing really secret in here. And they're basically talking about the same thing that we had discussed. In fact, I'm the only person, once again, who's used the F word, the forked word, where Claris took the FileMaker platform, they forked it to create the Claris platform. As we discussed in that conversation, if I go back over into here as a loose recap for that, and this is still a graphic that other people are not using yet. If I go up a slide, here we go. That this, if you can see on screen right here, the FileMaker platform is this kind of vertical group right here. Claris literally kind of duplicated it and created the Claris platform group over here. The goal with the Claris platform, it has lots of new emerging technologies in it, but as they do that, they tend to break things. So they didn't want to break existing deployments in FileMaker because that would piss everyone off. So what they did is they duplicated, they forked the platform. They're adding great things over here. They have these limitations down here they want to remediate. So in my slide, they largely appear to be remediated, but at the end of the day, these are the items that really have to be resolved one way or the other. And so we've got the FileMaker platform on one side, we have the Claris platform on the other side. And during the live stream this last week, one of the things that's come up was this whole idea that while they understood what they were saying, what they're saying didn't necessarily create the mental image that they wanted to have in their customers' minds. And one of the items that came up was this slide right here. This is like what their goals are, what they're focused on. And one of the things that came up was that Claris basically said, yes, 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 yes. We're focused on getting everyone to upgrade from the FileMaker platform to the Claris platform. And of course, since Claris didn't provide any specifics besides that loose statement, and even in this live stream, it was like, it's kind of this direction we're going, right? And they give you a screen like this, and I come up with this, and they say, yes, this is pretty accurate. Nowhere in here is the time scale or the time frame for how long this takes. So what happens is that there's no frame of reference for this. What happens is that people are like, so during this meeting, and I have the folder where Rick Kalman said, yeah, this is going to eventually go away. It'll be replaced with this because this Claris platform has everything in here plus some additional awesomeness, a perfect statement. Because eventually Claris doesn't want to pay for both these platforms. Both of them won't exist forever because it costs a lot of money. And so I was talking to the executives, and they were like, well, how did you come to that conclusion? I said, because you guys have already cut out the Mac and Windows versions of FileMaker Server. So you're already doing that for cost savings. Clearly, you have two identical platforms. You don't want to have two forever, so you want to chop one of these away so you get cost savings. It was one of those moments. So I had this meeting with these executives this week, and I really like where their heads were at. I really like what they were thinking. I think that once again, the biggest issues that we have is just not great communication. I'm communicating here every day as much and as often as I can, but the other side has to kind of reciprocate. And this last week, they kind of did that in a kind of an official capacity. So when I met with Brad, the CEO, VP of sales, but at the end of the day, these are the two guys that have been around a long time. And so as a result, they're the ones making decisions. And so they came to me and said, Richard, very explicitly, like pounded it in their hand, like the number one thing. And I had not heard anyone say this. I have had people loosely imply it. They said, oh, that slide where we set our top priorities, right? What are our priorities? What are we doing? What's our goals? They said, these are our goals that we want to go after. And this number one was the number one item that's on their to-do list by far. And I would also probably add on here the freemium part too. They put that right down here at the bottom. So really that number one plus the one freemium item on there is their big thing. And all the employees that work for Claris, they work for Apple, they work for this company. They're a little bit tentative about, they don't want to overstep their bounds, right? They don't want to overstep or speak too hard for the company. And so they're a little bit less blatant than I am. I'm very blatant, right? People say, Richard, you're too blatant. You need to be more polished and thoughtful and caring and loving. And so as a result of that, when I come and hit a topic like this, I want to know concretely, are they committed to this course of action? And do you have an idea how long it takes? Per their exact words, They are absolutely committed to number one is like their number one goal. And it's going to be the number one goal kind of until they remove all these obstacles. So there's these obstacles down there. They want these roadblocks removed that prevent people from coming over the FileMaker platform. One. Two, they want to give us additional capabilities and awesomeness, creamy goodness, right? The inside of a candy bar, the creamy goodness inside there. What is it? The Three Musketeers creamy goodness inside there that makes you want to use this platform. Right now, there's nothing over there that I really, but in the future, maybe within a couple months, we will start to get things like that. So they have implied to me. I haven't seen anything, but they've told me that that's likely to happen. I tend to believe them, right? When they say stuff like that, they generally, when they say things, they make a best effort at executing that. Okay. They actually came to me, they communicated this, they committed to me their best interest or best intent of doing that. I'm happy to pass that along. I'm really like where their heads are at. Now, the other thing I said is, well, and they go, well, I go, well, how long is it going to take to get everyone over there? And they actually don't have any real idea. I think in their deep down, their darkest desires, they probably have a thought of like it should take less than X number of years or something like that, but they clearly think it's going to be well more than a year. So, Mr. Taylor, any comments or questions on that? I want to welcome Sean Hughes, who's here with us. He is kind of following me around, trying to pick up the mess as I clean up the mess with people.
I'm
So,
excited about freemium. That's what I want to hear more about that, and I don't
well,
know that we're going to hear too much about that in the short term yet. So,
I have not seen the freemium. I haven't seen a decision made on that yet. I don't really know. I can just tell you that that freemium will definitely be on this side of the equation. It won't be over here on the FileMaker side. Why? Because why would they incentivize people to jump onto a side that they're trying to get people over the next X number of years to move off of onto the new modern side? A lot of additional capabilities come with Claris Studio. WebDirect. WebDirect is kind of works and it's kind of good, but could it be made better, farther, faster, do more amazing stuff? Could Claris Connect be better, farther, faster, and maybe make things easier than working with Zapier, for example? Could that be the case? Well, it's not the case yet, but possibly, very much so that could be the case. So what happens with that? We won't see a lot of that till well into next year. Some of this. So questions, they are creating a new product, probably direct all effort into it. How long will it take Studio to reach the maturity of FileMaker? So to understand what happens here, I'm going to frame this very, very, very important. In fact, they had a slide on this. I can show my slide or I can show their slide. I'm going to pop this over here and open this up. So this is kind of the Claris platform. This right here is going to be, at the end of the day, what I would consider the professional development tools. FileMaker Pro or Claris Pro, aka Claris Pro, same damn thing, is with a different name and a couple minor tweaks to it, like the name. This is the professional development side of the operation. Over here on this side is kind of the ad hoc, kind of drag and drop, very basic kind of capability that end users could drag and drop and make a quickie solution where they don't have to be a professional developer. I think over here there's a big bar. We've always known about this. We talked about this in a slideshow back in the day. Once again, I'm going to phrase this for people. Back in the day, if I go to the slideshow, Claris had this mantra. This was their mantra: simply powerful software. Okay. And over the years, the powerful part kept getting reinforced and made better. There was all sorts of JSON, JavaScript API. All of you folks have these skills for the most part are here. And what the problem is what about simply, right? And so Claris wanted to go back and deal with that. And so what they've done is they tried to make Claris Connect a simple piece. It needs some more work. Claris Studio definitely is a simple piece. We can talk about that a little bit if we want, but these are accessories to the platform. They don't replace the platform. They're not in lieu of anything. They are additional pieces. So when I came back over here and I showed you the completed platform, which is right here, everything that's over here got moved over here, period. Okay. Then Claris added some other stuff over here. Some easier, simple stuff to use, which is Claris Studio. Claris Connect will get better. I'm thinking that's more of a developer tool. I don't know that it'll ever be super drag and drop, maybe. And then freemium's over there. And so there's really great things that are coming. So in this platform with this one graphic that Claris had, this is this one right here, I think probably leans to the professional side. And this is the ad hoc and user simple side, right? Makes sense. So when does Claris Studio, I'm just going to ask, somebody asked this question, when does Claris Studio replace Pro? Never. When does Claris Studio augment Pro better? Every 3 weeks, it does a better job of it. Every 3 weeks, it does a better job of it. Does it ever replace a professional tool? No, it's not a professional development environment. It's a drag and drop kind of whatever. I think it could augment like WebDirect or something. Maybe it gets so good that it's like the super duper new version of WebDirect, maybe in 5 years or something. But that's a long ways away. I'm not worried about what happens in 5 years. I'm happy to know what's going on in calendar 2024. Okay. Claris is talking about, hey, they keep asking this question, should we make it so you can make your own custom Connect module that you can put into Connect and then maybe sell it or something, whatever, or give it away, whatever you want to do. So like you have those add-ons in 19 where you can drag and drop an add-on. What if you could drag and drop a Claris Connect widget module thing into Claris Connect? So say Claris Connect doesn't talk to PayPal, or it hasn't historically, you write the code that does that, right? Then you sell it or give it away or do something, right? That would be, so suddenly the developer community is extending this product right here. We already have this product right here. We have a server up here, which is great. We get some Zapier kind of action going on here. And then you have this simplicity right here, which most of the professional developers like, that's interesting, but not today. But then what happens in January and February and March, and every 3 weeks it gets better and better. And what happens? Every 3 weeks you get a new update. Like if we came over to the Claris website over here, if I go close that for now, this is Claris.com. This is their website right here. If I go to, let me just go to platform. Let me see if I can close that, open it up again. See if it's going to throw up the news for me. Is it going to dismiss the news? Feedback, help, maybe under here. What's new?
Yeah.
Here we go. So here we go. November 1st, there was new stuff. So then November 21st, which is close to Thanksgiving, they'll have another pile of new stuff probably. Then they had new stuff on October 18th. That's not even 3 weeks. That's like less than 2 weeks here, right? And then you've got October 4th, which is like another 2 weeks. And then this was like a month here, a little more than a month, or a little less than a month. So they're anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you're getting new widgets, right? So that speed of iteration is exciting. All right, cool. All right, so there's Sean Hughes with another frog. Thank you for that. All right, so the web front end will be Claris Studio. It could be, it is right now if you build a form, like we were working on our form over here. And this is the Claris job application form right here. If I submit data into here, this is a front end. It goes into the database on the back end, which we can read with the Claris Studio back end, or we can read it in Claris Pro if we want. Make sense? So it is a front end. How you read it on the back end is up to you. It's already kind of doing it. My problem right now is that this form right now has no capture or anything like that. So if people submit data in here and then they put a picture, they submit a picture in here, the picture can be of anything. It's supposed to be of a resume, but will it really be a picture of a resume, or will it be a picture of something else? Like I put a picture in here, that's a picture of Meow Mix, right? Meow, 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 meow. So anyway, yes. So that is what's going on. So I think the vision is being more better articulated. I know more better is not good English, but I'm very smart. So I just repeat, like Forrest Gump, right? So questions, Margaret, are you there? We have questions at all?
Yeah, wait. When did he say freemium would be available? Early 2023?
I haven't said when freemium's been available. When I was down there at Claris, they did not give me a timeline on where freemium's available. My impression is that they're still evaluating bits and pieces of freemium as to what they're going to offer. Like, does Studio come with it? Seems like Studio will come with it. Does Connect come with it? I don't know. I don't know if they know. I get the impression that they're still kind of hammering that out. So if they're still kind of discussing it or figuring it out or whatever they're doing, then obviously it's not shipping today. Other questions?
We had one from David, which was the web front will be Claris Studio? ?
For those of you who wonder about the Claris, so this is like a web page I built with this. It's a job application kind of thing, and it goes into a back end. So if I go back over here, views, let me see views. Here we go. So then here's the job form, and this is the attached spreadsheet. One of the things about it's a little funky is that we understand as professional developers the idea of a table and fields, and then a view is a layout, right? Really, in the world of SQL, a view is also potentially other filtering that's applied on top of it, right? But in the world of FileMaker, it's kind of a layout's a view. So we got a table, you got fields, you have records, you have a view, and with the Claris platform over here, the studio, you just build a view, and then it backwards through telepathy reads your mind and builds out the rest of the structure for you. But it's very simple. And so then if I want to come over here and say, really want to deal with the structure, underlying structure, I can't really do it. It's been sufficiently abstracted that it's the deepest way I can look at the structure is looking at it in a spreadsheet. So I gave this to Sean earlier. Sean was going to look at the thing here. If I say, okay, so Sean did a job application to work at Claris. He submitted a picture of Nick Hunter. So there you go, right? Interesting. Yeah. So this is these idea of a Claris studio. You have hubs in here, which are kind of the security idea. It's like a grouping for security. You can add members over here. If I was going to add members over here, then I should be able to click on people that are part of I bought a 5-pack of FileMaker. So this is a 5-pack. Apparently I can't click and add people over here because maybe they're a manager already and they're already added or something like that. I can't maybe de-add them. I can edit the hub name or delete the hub. The hub is called apply for job at Claris. And then, so then this is the form. This is the backend spreadsheet. And this is some sort of data, I guess. I don't know. So can I edit this? If I edit the view, and it's getting data from ages quick add, but does it say where the data is coming from? No. Does it say here, delete page? Yeah. So I'm not clear on, it's a view. I can add another line bar. Okay. So that's a view where we're adding dashboard objects, but it's a view. So then you have to decide where the data comes from, and then so you decide what table it comes from, but it doesn't say what table does it come from. Oh, here's a list of tables we have in our account, including some I've tried to delete, right? Untitled Charlie 288. Okay, I have no idea what that is. I have no way of going anywhere to delete it. So some of you are asking, like, how long until this is ready for prime time? I think they have to figure out our ability to see like Beverly Voth that defined a couple of tables and stuff, and they're in here, and she's part of this account, but I don't know how I would. So there's her table. Then how would I delete it? I don't even begin to know, because these are the people here. They're managers. I'm a manager. They're members. I can remove them. I can't do anything else, right? So Christian Schmidt's even in here, right? Christian Schmidt. Yeah, so this came up too as part of this conversation here. Claris doesn't specifically identify this last item right here as being something they're terribly worried about, but it's yeah, that's an interesting
It's a blocker.
Yeah, because unless 360works comes out with Linux-based plugins, we're not going to move to the Claris platform. And that's based upon 360works deciding to do that. Has 360works had a conversation with Claris about this? Maybe.
That's not the version that 360 is cutting next either. Like order of operations.
Why don't you give us okay, so why don't you pretend you're Jesse Barnum?
I'm not impersonating Jesse Barnum today. Thank you, everyone.
Right now, you're gonna impersonate Jesse Barnum.
I'm gonna speak on his behalf, so hopefully I don't butcher.
Try not to screw it up too bad. 360works.com. So Jesse, welcome to the show today. Why don't you tell us what you're working on 360works? What is your goal besides trying to become a FileMaker 19 certified developer?
So 360works is currently working on getting their plugins natively compatible with M1 Mac chips.
Okay.
That is the last thing that he emailed me. After that comes potentially Linux compatibility.
Yeah.
So for the plugins. I think those two things are probably related, to be perfectly honest. I think I suspect a bunch of the work that he has to do to get to M1, much of that'll be, positive progress toward Linux and that sort of compatibility, but don't know.
Okay.
And it's not Linux isn't top on his list currently. So
Okay.
that is what I understood from I got an email from Mr. Jesse Barnum. So about
Okay.
on this topic. They were aiming. I won't quote a date because he gave us kind of a fuzzy answer, but I I I believe the M1 version of like the email plugin and stuff like that. That's what we're talking about, the desktop, the pro plugins. And it'll work on server too, right? People use it there as well. But like Mac servers, that is supposed to be out, I'll just say by next year, approximately. That's the
Okay.
I'm not going to hold him to that. Don't quote him on it, etc. But that's what's coming. After that, at least per his email, after that, we may get a Linux build. So
Okay. So the Mac Ventura one that we're saying is next year, or is that now? The Mac Ventura.
there's a build out immediately for Mac Ventura that is unrelated to compatibility with M1 chips.
Okay.
That is a
Ken's saying they need to update the email plugin for Mac Ventura client, and
that's done today. Yeah,
I thought that was already done like
yeah,
yesterday, the day before. Like it was
yeah. It's out
okay. So Ken,
currently.
oh,
Yeah,
they did it just this week. Okay. Well, you said they need it. I read it that as they need. Okay. As in like you were, okay, great. Yeah. So they
yeah.
got the Ventura Mac update done. Then there's the M1 update done. And then whatever
Next.
else is there.
Yeah, and then Linux is the thing that we'd be waiting on. So the M1 compatibility will be good for on-site customers that use 360 email. I don't know how much that's going to end up mattering, since I think that stuff works inside of what do they call it, Rosetta currently.
Ah,
I'm not sure, but I think it does. And so that'll help. Probably basically you get better performance out of it because Rosetta can leave some things to be desired, we'll say. It's not always the fastest, but yeah. So once that's done, I'll just say, sometime by next year, and then something after that. I don't know if I don't think I'm not strictly speaking sure he committed to Linux builds, and so it may actually be selective. RCC specifically, at least, would need email and Zulu
yes.
for some flavor of those things to
Yep.
move
Yep.
over. So
Actually, I think he had
um,
Linux working, but you had to like manually install it. There was no installer for it or
yeah,
something. It's kind of a hack or something. So
yeah. Well, and the I think you could get Zulu working today on Linux. Like I have a suspicion that might just work if you plug it in right, and there might be a guide for that or something. The real blocker though for us is Claris server or FileMaker server, whichever. The 360 email plugin does not load on Linux, so that's the big one actually for us specifically.
cool. All right. So that's what's going on with this. Once again, we endorse 360 products. What about Monkey Spread? Does Monkey Spread work on Linux? Where's Christian
Is
Schmidt at? Monkey
Oh
Spread.
yeah, he posted in Discord with good emojis. MBS runs on everything. Claris server, FileMaker server, Linux, Mac, Windows, doesn't matter.
Really?
Answer's yes. Yep.
Wow. All right, everyone. I greatly appreciate it. I don't have anything else. All right. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Catch you later. See ya. Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.